Hey, welcome back to Y&R Update. It's Paul. I want to jump into an interview done by Michael Logan. It was a two-part interview with Farren, Phelps and Chuck Pratt. The most telling part about this was when he talked about Michelle Morgan, and he didn't call her by name, but he said some actresses, have gotten pregnant. Well, I can pull out a laundry list of actors that have worked through pregnancies. In fact, I've had people write me and say, hey, why didn't they write the pregnancy into the storyline? It would have really been an interesting storyline, being that, she had just slept with the ADA, she had relations with Neil, she's having relations with Devon. I mean, that could have been a great storyline. Who was the father? Yeah, I found the notion that you would take one of your actors and really throw them under the bus for the fact that they become pregnant and almost ruined one of your storylines. Sort of reprehensible. I mean, the storyline isn't ruined. As an actress, she's entitled to take time off, but a lot of things can be written into the storyline. It's disrespectful. You had one of the best storylines, if not the best storyline, in terms of Devon and Hillary getting together, but you seem to be trashing it. It seems to anyone with a pair of eyes that you were looking to ditch the storyline after the plane crash, like I said, which cost quite a bit budget-wise. You abandoned, or virtually abandoned, the storyline. We do get to see them, but we get to see them once a week and in 2 or 3 scenes. A lot of people don't understand why one of the hottest storylines would do that, but I think we do know the answer now, because you thought pregnancy kills the storyline, so why not start phasing them out and phasing these characters out? And it's the thing that actually hurts your brand. It hurts the show. When you take a storyline that's hot and you put it on the back burner, people realize that. And when they see a pregnancy and they hear your comments, actually mentioning it in the interview that the actress has, what some actresses get pregnant and changes the storyline, it shows how inflexible you are and how little you think of the actors that work for you. And a lot of people have a problem with it, and you can duck it all you want, but eventually the issue will bite you in the ass. I actually think it will. I mean, I don't understand. It really seems that Chuck Pratt is a guy that just not coming up with original ideas, and I think I've demonstrated that, and he's going back to ideas that have been picked from, that have been used previously. So I don't get that. And then it comes down to when it comes down to them talking about fans and their reaction online. Well, Phelps came out and said, well, I don't really go online. Do you know why CBS and Sony were asking Chuck Pratt about the comments online? Because they go online. I'm dumbfounded by the fact that you are so successful and that you don't spend any time online, because if you did, you would realize that a lot of people are now picking up the show online, and a lot of people are migrating online because they can watch it at any time they see fit. CBS has endorsed it by putting the shows online. So the fact that you say you don't even go online, that makes me scratch my head, especially when you know that the brass of the show go online and they are reading the comments of the people that they're leaving. Because guess what? The people that aren't going online, they don't have a voice. They're not giving themselves a voice. So the ones that feel strongly are the ones that are posting online. I wish you guys would figure that out. Yeah, another one of the things that struck me too was in the interview when Logan asked Phelps and Pratt about the fact that using Doppelganger Jack, having relations with Phyllis, was rape. They really didn't seem to want to address the issue. In fact, they sort of danced around it quite a bit, and in the end they didn't address it, in that, why are you doing something like that, and how are you going to properly deal with it? I mean, I think Phelps said in the end, when Phyllis finds out, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, or however she handles it is how she handles it. I mean, you guys are the ones that are creating the stories. Why don't you address the question? And you didn't really address the question. And the other question that they seem to want to duck as well was the question of having a gay character. Greg Rickard had asked if his character could have a gay storyline written into it, and they danced around that question as well. I really didn't understand it. I mean, in fact, Pratt talked about how he had broke ground with that storyline on a previous show a long time ago, and almost like it's been done before. Well, you didn't break ground. Bill Bell broke ground with it when he introduced it with Catherine Chancellor's character and her friend Joan, and that was in the 70s, so didn't break ground with it. And in defense of Bill Bell, the story wasn't abandoned because he didn't want to do it. It was abandoned because of network pushback at the time. So I'd say he was one of the groundbreaking people when it comes to that. And the other thing, I mean, I've already demonstrated that you've been reusing the same bits over and over, including the Doppelganger one, and then in the interview you talk about Sharon, and when they ask you about why you keep making the character of Sharon crazy when other showrunners and writers have done the same thing, you know what your answer is? Your answer is that you don't like seeing actors doing the same bits over and over, but you don't mind putting Sharon in that because you think that she's a trooper, you think that she can handle it. That's your answer. Well, you're just contradicting yourself, because on one hand you're saying you hate seeing people do the same bit, but you have no problem making Sharon the eternal crazy person.